Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the San Diego Comic-Con GI Joe Classified Exclusive Chuckles. Now, I just got this. Now, if you've been watching, you saw that I've just done the Crimson Strike team. Now, in theory, that one probably should have come out second because you're going to see how it all works together. So, anyway, here is Chuckles. Pretty cool artwork. If you have the Crimson Strike team, you'll know what this is here. And what I'm going to do is at the end of the review, I'm going to kind of show you how these two things go together, just in case if somebody is wondering, in case if somebody maybe seen Chuckles here and they're listening to me like, have I already seen this review? Listen, at the end of the video, I will show you how they kind of coincide together, because they make these San Diego Comic-Con and these Pulse exclusives, at least they have for the past 2 years, with Serpentor and Mindbender, and now the Crimson Strike team and Chuckles. They make them to work together. It's a storyline. It is telling a story. So anyway, you have this, what looks like a transistor radio. I feel like they've really taken an old school 80s look and then also a modern look. So you have Chuckles, who's obviously communicating with them. You have the old speaker. It is embossed. You got a bunch of different dials and some numbers here, but on the side here, it looks more like a computer. You have HDMI cables, a toggle switch. So you have everything that you would use something for more modern. You have number 75. You obviously have like an oscilloscope look here up here. It's not an oscilloscope, but what you see on an oscilloscope there. A couple other dials, and then you see extensive enterprise on the back with a junction box, which what you're basically saying is he was sabotaging stuff. And then on the inside here, you know, you get a picture of Chuckles, everything that he comes with, and you get the helicopter, but you also get a little story of how he ended up with it. And what I'm going to be doing, like I said, what I'll show at the end is how everything works together. So I don't know how much more there is to look at this. We've probably seen this 100 times. I don't even know why I'm trying to close this box. Anyway, so here it is. Let's open it up. But before we do, if you like the GI Joe stuff that I've been giving you, God, we know there's a lot of stuff coming. Helix I just ordered, I should be getting her in the next week or so. If you like what I'm doing, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I do drop a GI Joe video. Now let's get into this. Alright, so we got Chuckles out, and there's already a few things that are a little bit different. So they did a customized bag that's obviously going to match his floral pattern shirt. And the coffin, what Lenny calls it, has the same thing. So you don't have the artwork on the inside. And I'm fine with that. Like I said, I like what they do with the GI Joe. I like the artwork inside of the coffin. But again, this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so I have no problem with them doing something like this. It just kind of breaks up the monotony and says, hey, you know what, this is supposed to be special. What you do have here is his locker. Now, I always throw these in here. I really do keep all this paper because I have issues. And here's a little legalese. I'll throw that in there too, so if it goes in there. So here's his coffin. It looks pretty much the same as the Crimson Strike team case that it comes with. But quickly looking at it here, the Cobra symbol, it's all the damage on it. You have the locks and everything. Here's your handle. It says Crimson Strike team. It doesn't say anything about it being Chuckles, but the one thing I noticed, there's no red on here. So there's no crimson on here from the damage of when he's fighting off the bats or other characters, different things like that. So here's our figure, and here's everything that he comes with. So not sure what's inside here. I really haven't watched too much, to be honest. I mean, this figure's been out for so long, so many people have gotten it, so I've seen him bounced around. Oh, so here's his headphones and his glasses. I don't know why they put these in here. That, you know, it'd be nice if they put all little things like glasses and stuff in that, but why would you put the glasses and these in there but not put the handcuffs? Like, it's little things like that that I don't fully understand why they do what they do. So anyway, let's quickly look at everything. He has his lei. Now this is just a hard plastic. It would have been nice maybe had it been soft, but it looks like it's going to mold around, and we'll try it on and see how it fits on him. Here we have the tape deck radio, which again, if you look at it, you know what this is. This is clearly Soundwave, just done in black. Now, I know a lot of people will say that it's, I don't know, the counterpart to Soundwave that's black, but let's be honest, it's supposed to be Soundwave. They just didn't do it in blue. It would have been cool had they done it in blue. They do own the property, but again, I guess it's a way to maybe get a couple Transformers guys to possibly buy it. Here you have the files that you can see the crimson bat. So there is a story to why the bats are also done in crimson, and I'm guessing it's all in this file that unfortunately we'll probably never know because it's not in a comic and they don't have a mini comic or anything like that. But it does look pretty cool. They do make it definitely look like there's papers and everything all through it. Here we have a knife. It looks pretty straight. It's got a little bit of paint apps right there. It's small. I've seen people already kind of point out different sizes of knives with GI Joe to other. Again, they're figures, they're toys, guys. Here we have his pistol, which I never had a Chuckles, but it does remind me of the pistol that it came with. Again, I've seen it in the books numerous times, and I believe it came with the same pistol that either Hawk or Keelhaul had. Very similar to it, so looks really nice. It has the port for blast effects. That is his only weapon that he has. I believe this is our first set of actual binoculars. I know Duke has some binoculars, but they were, on the first versions, they were more realistic. I can't think if anyone else has binoculars, but they do look good, and these definitely look more like binoculars used for bird watching and different things like that. Maybe peeping topping, if you're one of those people. You have the handcuffs here. So it's hard to see, but I guess if you hit the right angle there, you can see that there is a little bit of paint app on here. They are a little bit pliable. Now, this is what makes me laugh. You have weapons like Torpedo's spear gun, which is way more pliable than this. I feel if you move this too much, you're definitely going to break it. But then they give you two pieces that they have broken. So if you want them running around with broken ones because you found a way to break them, there you have it. I'm assuming you're going to have to pop the wrists out. And here you have his headset. Now, there is no wire. You could create a wire, but that is definitely going to go with your Shockwave if he's just kind of chilling on the beach. He's got his little glasses. Now, I wonder how these will fit. They are not clear like the Baroness's. So the Baroness has clear glasses. He has more of these Oakley-style looking lenses. I wouldn't say the glasses look like Oakley, but you can already see they're bent, so that will have to be fixed. They're very pliable, very soft. Again, they can't get glasses right. I'd rather them just do an extra head sculpt. And I know that leads to extra tooling and extra money and higher prices on stuff. So I understand why they don't do it, but it doesn't mean I can't want it. Here you have his brass knuckles fists. There, I dropped one. Let's grab another one. So here's his brass knuckle fist. Looks pretty good. It's got the nice little paint apps on it. Don't see any issues with it. And just by bending it, they seem pliable enough. Here we have the beat up head. I'm not sure I really like this head. I don't know if it's... I'm not a fan of this head. But you got nice hair. It looks good. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's done the way it's supposed to. I just don't really care for it. But you see he's missing some teeth. He's got a big black eye. He's got a big scar on his forehead or a scratch. I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks like he just battled Apollo Creed, though. Let me grab this fist really here. While I'm grabbing this fist underneath my desk, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So here's the other fist. And then we get to the briefcase. So you can see there's a scratch on the briefcase here. It's obviously been used a little bit. Now, the question is, are there supposed to be marks on it? I would assume this is like a leather briefcase, so it's just the markings that you're going to see. This kind of ripped through the leather. There's also one on the back, but you see texture within that briefcase. I'm assuming this is like a leather one. And then if you open it up, you can pretty much hold all your stuff. And it does look like a real briefcase. So I'm assuming it's perfect to put in stuff like this. Now, the one thing that was pointed out at the beginning is that this whole thing is built on showing that he's running away with gold bars, and they don't give you a suitcase with gold bars. To be honest, to run with a suitcase of gold bars would be pretty stupid and hard considering how heavy gold is. But nonetheless, it's kind of one of those things like, hey, you guys built the thing about him stealing other stuff, but also the gold bars. All right, so now let's look at Chuckles. Again, I've never had a Chuckles in my life. I was actually just looking at one yesterday. A fun school one still in the package at my local comic shop. So quickly moving back and forth, head looks up, and again he's on this pivot that his neck moves back and forth. All right. He can move up. Get his T-pose right there. Arm seems kind of weak there. You got your bicep swivel, which looks kind of weird because it breaks apart there. And then you have double pinless joints right there that look really good. You got butterfly joints, but again, if the butterfly joints aren't cut properly, and I don't feel like most of the Joes are, they don't do what they're supposed to, which is cross all the way over to hold the pistol. So these butterfly joints, in all honesty, are more for show than anything. And I'd rather just not even have them because they don't really do anything. There you have your Jean-Claude Van Damme with the drop-down hips. They pop back up. You got your ab crunch. You can swivel back and forth. You got your double knees. Okay, thigh swivel. Boot cut, ankle rockers. And again, this is right out of the box. So I did not have to heat them up at all. Again, if you feel like something is tight, don't be Superman. Don't be the Hulk. Don't be He-Man. Take a second and heat them up. All right, so now let's take a look at him. So quickly, we can look at his face here. I think everything looks really nice. I don't see any issues. It kind of looks like he's looking up. All right, which isn't a problem, except for if you always want your figure looking up, you might have to have him kind of pointing his head down if his eyes are in the up position. It's not as bad as side eye, like McFarlane figures have. Again, why does everyone want side eye? But he definitely looks to be always kind of like looking up. Hair looks really good. You can see a little bit of paint apps on it. He's got his little nice fluffy, or not fluffy, his Hawaiian shirt, flowers, leaves on it and everything. When you do twist it here, this kind of looks weird. I wish they would have done it at the bicep rather than up here, because it's not something that's going to bother me and like break my day, but this kind of looks weird. It just doesn't look right. It's got the holster here. It's just all one color. Now this is what the holster was supposed to be on the original O-ring. How well does the gun fit in there? Look at that. Looks absolutely beautiful. He's got the Joe Pro on here. So they do keep the Joe Pro from the original stuff, and I have no problem with it. I mean, GI Joe is supposed to be future forward. Nice looking belt that just breaks up. A matter of fact, looking at this, I think it looks better because maybe in all the pictures that I saw, I mean, most people don't tuck in Hawaiian shirts, but the original one did. But having the belt on here breaks up the monotony. It doesn't look like it's just tucked in. Then we have his holster for his sheath for his knife. Does feel kind of loose, but doesn't fall out that easily. Pants look good. Again, pin joints. I know people really hate the pin joints. Again, I would like them to go away from it. But again, you're still working on having to reuse molds so you can get as much money in your tooling or out of your tooling as possible. His boots look fine. I have no issues. They got some big old marks there, or teeth on here, just a tread. So they don't have tread on the bottom. You just have your legalese there. But everything else, I think he looks pretty good. He's got the nice watch here, which says 1 o'clock, I believe. Or, oh, I'm sorry, 1 minute left. He's actually counting stuff down. So if you look at this, I believe he's actually counting down. It's not an actual watch. Well, I mean, it is a watch, but it's counting it down. All right, so now let's just pop out the hands. How easy. Ooh, those hands popped out nicely. So that popped out really easily. And you throw in the brass knuckles. Man, that went on really nice. Let's see if this hand comes off nearly as easy. It does in the watch. Be careful. It is removable. So pop on the fist here. So I'll tell you what, this going against Big Boa may be really nice. Because now you have some brass knuckles. You can have the guy actually fighting a guy. That's the boxer, who obviously would have a disadvantage. All right. So you have a peg here for our Soundwave, who's clearly is trying to get into GI Joe. You have your lay. You pop the lay on there. Looks like he's just enjoying himself. I mean, who doesn't enjoy themselves with their holstered pistol, their sheath knife? I mean, who's not out here enjoying that? The binoculars here kind of clip right on. I'm not going to say that you could tell that this guy is a spy trying to intercept. But let's be honest. It might kind of show off that, hey, you know what? This guy's not out to do any good. Then we have his headphones. Clearly they're Bluetooth headphones. And we have his glasses, which I'm going to tell you I don't believe are going to fit all that well. So those would definitely have to be heated up, squeezed. Probably have to use a little bit of sticky tack to get that done. So, all right. Now let's throw the optional head on, which will go really well with Big Boa if you want to use that. So there's the ball joint for it. This looks like a different size. Unfortunately, they use a lot of different sizes for their head joints. So, popping this on. Again, don't ever try and be He-Man. If it feels like it's going to break, like it's not going to go on, just use a little bit of heat. All right. I'm knocking the Soundwave off my desk here. All right. So there's the head. I mean, it is what it is. That's what it's supposed to be. I just don't like the look of it. Again, it does look right. You know, you have the puffy eye, so it's not just a black eye. You know, it's not like they just painted a new head. It was painted the same head, just with bruises. It is pretty beat up, and you got the scar or the scratch on it. I'm just not a big fan of that head, so I can't see myself using that one too often. Maybe for a couple photo shoots if I'm going to be trying stuff like that. So there is your Chuckles. Okay. So let's pop off. Let's see how well the gun goes on. He's got his trigger fingers. Everything's kind of slippery because you can see my hands are always beat up because of what I do for work. Not a big fan of the brass knuckles. So I can't see myself having them on too often. So with all this on here, I do like the watch. I like that it's removable. So you can use it on other characters if need be. You can tell it in a story that, hey, you know what? Maybe Chuckles is captured. Maybe he gets killed. And you have a undercover Cobra guy that's talking to a Joe, and they happen to notice that he's wearing a specially made watch for Chuckles. So There he goes with that. Throwing his hand. Now again, if you're going to be doing any types of pictures, you definitely want to make sure that people can see the Crimson Guard, or I'm sorry, the Crimson Bat right there. So, as you can see, those guys are over there. He's definitely going to be trying to get away from them. But he actually feels really solid as a figure. I know sometimes we get a lot of loose joints and different things like that. Oh, you know what, let me move this. See, he does kick out straight. You know, people have kind of mentioned to me. Now, I'll tell you what, looking at the foot like this, it kind of reminds me of the Fortnite figure that we originally used as Firefly. Havoc was his name. So, there you go. That is Chuckles in a nutshell. Bonus footage time. So this is what I was talking about. And here's our briefcase. Now, I did take the slip cover off. So, the slip cover is supposed to look like that. Nice and pristine. This is how he found it. This is how it ends up getting left once he actually steals it. As you can see that it's all beat up. Now, again, these are the same ones, except for there's red scuff marks all through it. That's the only difference. And obviously the size and what's inside of it. So what you're looking at here, again, he's holding this here, which again, I mentioned before, has the O-ring design bat. And before someone argues with me, it is the O-ring. I confirmed it. Again, I shouldn't have to say that, but I'm sure people would argue about it. And when you open it up, now here he is. He's obviously communicating with them. So I want to open this up here first to show how he stole it. So he fights with everyone here. You see him actually fighting with the bats. Now, because it's in black and white, you don't know what color it is, but this is the whole Crimson Strike thing. So you would assume that's where all of that stuff comes from. He jumps in the car, and he takes off. Here he is sitting here. He has the manila folder with the bat on it. So it's obviously the bat project that they're working on. The gold bars, he's still holding this right here. All right. So what is strange, okay. I think this is what people, myself included, this was left with the Crimson Strike team, or with the Baroness and the twins. And that is because that is the small. You would be looking at everyone in the large picture. All right. So here they are. He's kind of saying peace out to them. He has all this stuff. She's yelling. Tomax is in shock. Zaymot is about to yell. He's looking at it through here, which is, this thing is big. So there's obviously a communicator in here. Now, if you are wondering, because he's walking away there, these are two different shots. This is right after they figure it out. This is when he's walking away. He's leaving the case and everything. She's screaming. He's pointing. He's yelling. So it isn't the same picture as many people, I think, have thought. I don't know if anyone has pointed that out yet. But this is a whole thing that works together. And I think it looks absolutely awesome. I think they knocked it out of the park when it comes to this two-part storytelling. So that's your bonus footage. Let's wrap it up. All right, so my first thought on Chuckles is I actually like him way more than I thought I was going to. I didn't like any of the pictures that I saw of him when they were starting to release them. I'm trying to be a completionist when it comes with the GI Joe team, but after getting the figure in hand, I love the storytelling that these two exclusives are doing. They do a wonderful job, in my opinion. I know not everyone will agree with me, but the figure itself is really nice. He only comes with a pistol. It would have been nice that he maybe come with some sort of rifle, but it does play into the story that he has, and I've got so many rifles that it really doesn't matter at this point. But you got the briefcase, you got the manila folder with the bats, initiative, you got the sound wave and different things like that. And all in all, it is a pretty nice looking figure and not a horrible price. It is the deluxe price that not everyone likes. Hell, I would like every figure to be $25, but that's just not how it is. But there it is. All right, so there you have it. That is Chuckles. Again, a figure I actually like more than I thought that I was going to. But I think the figure itself is just, it's a nice figure. I know people hate the pin leg. It's not a huge deal breaker for me. But I didn't have anything that felt like it was going to break. Everything moved really smoothly. The same with the Crimson Stripe team, which is a plus. So yeah, if you're interested, you can still pick it up, or at least you could, at Hasbro Pulse. Again, he's available all over. I think they became available again at Hasbro Pulse because so many people started getting them overseas that they started canceling them. So you can probably get Chuckles, probably not for long, because once all the reviews start going out, people will probably start going, oh, you know what? FOMO, I'm going to miss it. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. But before I do, listen, if you're still watching, you're not following me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, what are you waiting for? Punk with Toys, the Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys. And the last but not least, never the least, the last thing that I'm going to ask, you stayed this long, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a GI Joe video, which I do drop a lot, and there's just more to come, and more and more and more. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, but don't go anywhere. You're watching, so right up here is the Crimson Twins, that Crimson Stripe team. That's what it is. It goes with this. You gotta watch that video. And here is the playlist of all the classified videos that I've done. Have a great day.